praying Jehovah.
As a black American, a descendant of emancipated people, family that has been here on this land before white people ever touched this land, what benefit will I have claiming Africa? Saying that I am African. Saying that I have lineage tied to Africa. What's the benefit of it? Especially when I'm not African. So many Africans are so upset at black Americans for not claiming to be from Africa or African. Why is that? But before I get there, make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. If you can, please join my membership. And if you can't join my membership, just subscribe to your boy channel, man. That'll help me out a lot. And I thank y'all for helping me get there also. So salute to everybody. But my question once again, what benefits will I receive for claiming to be from Africa or saying that my family is Afrikaans? What benefit? I don't see no benefit in it. Just me personally. You know why? Because when I look on my family tree on Ancestry.com, there's no connections to Africa, bro. Even when I go back to the 1700s, there's nobody from Africa in my family tree. None, not one. My great-grandmother never taught me about no funky Africans. I'm sorry saying funky, Lord have mercy. I'm working on my language, y'all, because I know one day YouTube gonna take me away from how I talk. But my grandmother never spoke on the hungry Africans that my grandmother and my mother used to donate 20 cents a day to them people in Africa. They never said that we were from there, ever. The foods that my grandparents cooked was not African dishes. The language and the words they spoke wasn't African language. It probably Ebonics, slang, but it wasn't African language. The dances, the culture that I grew up in wasn't African. When I go to a family reunion and we get these shirts and it be a big tree on there with different names and stuff, I have not seen nothing with Shaka Zulu, Umbutu, Zimbubu, Mundunde, Kundunde, Unte, None of that. None of that. So what benefit will I get for claiming African? That's what I want to know, black people. What benefit? There's none. And me as a black American, calling myself African erases everything about my black American identity that my black American ancestors has built over 400 years. Some was slavery, some was free, some was still indigenous, but it's still going to erase their history if I say I'm from Africa. See, I never want to mix up being amongst African immigrants, Caribbean immigrants. I don't want to mix up my ancestors with them, especially my Mississippi ancestors, my Arkansas ancestors, my Alabama ancestors, and my Tennessee ancestors, and a few of my Louisiana ancestors. I got 2 of them that I found. But there's no point of that because I get nothing from that. I don't get energy, man, from African traditions, African religions, African what they worship. I don't get nothing from that. I think it's bad luck. When I see people practicing E5 and all this other stuff, bad shit always happen to them. It does. There's nothing positive that happened to black Americans that's from this soil that practice African spirituality. None. I seen nothing but hardship and pain. Some people say, well, Brian, you being superstitious. No, Brian being for real. Brian been living for 43 motherfucking years. And I seen everything. I seen young women practice E5. I seen it. I seen them sacrifice shit. You're not supposed to sacrifice. That ain't our culture. Sacrifice is not our culture, man. It's just not. That's their culture. Those people would sacrifice little children. That's not us. That's not our spirit. See, we feed the ancestors. We give the ancestors. Quick story. Not really a quick story, but it's a tale that my grandparents told me about. It's this lady. She was a witch. It's called the Witch of Yazoo. They call her the Witch of Yazoo. So I'm just making a long story short. So basically, this witch would do wild things to the fishermen that used to fish on the Yazoo River. So a lot of fishermen was found unalive. Now she was a black woman. Now a lot of white folks want to say she was a black woman. If you read the folklore about this woman and look it up, she was a black woman. She was not a white woman. So let me first say that. But she was a witch. So one day, I guess people, because she unalived a lot of people during that time. This was back like in the 1920s, late 1800s, 1920, when my grandparents was telling me this. But when the police came to her, what the police says that she was sinking in quicksand. That's not true. She wasn't sinking in quicksand. They drowned that woman. The white supremacists, the KKK, the sheriff drowned that woman. You talk to a lot of black people, they will tell you that story. Well, I don't know. Some black people tell you that she drowned in quicksand. But how did they get their body? How did they get her body if she did drown in quicksand? That's not true. That's not a fact. Those white supremacists drowned her in the Yazoo River. And that's a fact. But anyway, so before she died, while they was drowning her, she said in 20 years, I will burn Yazoo City down. Look this up. And when they buried her, and 20 years later, Yazoo City got burned down, guess what? Guess what? They had to chain her coffin, her tombstone. They put chains around there because they had to believe what was said. That's the type of shit that we do. That's the type of sacrifice that we have done. That's the type of things that we practice here. We never practice the stuff that they do. Everything about us has always been spiritual. Everything for them has always been on another level. See, the women I knew that practiced E5, right? Especially one in particular. She practiced E5. I remember she was practicing E5 about I'm 43, so I think I met her when I was like 33, 34 out here in Dallas. But I remember she was practicing E5, her and her husband. And she was doing all the cutting of the chicken, all that weirdo shit they be doing, right? And she went out to Africa, did some weird things in Africa. I'm talking about they flew to Africa, to West Africa, and doing those rituals out there in Africa also. Came back over here to America. And I remember I used to chop it up with her, man. She would tell me all the plans that she wanted to have and things like that. Man, you know, her dude, I'm trying to remember correct. Could have been so long, it just came to my mind as I was talking. But her and her dude was trying to, yeah, that's what it was. They were about to have a baby. They were trying to have a baby. You know, they got married and all that whoop de whoop. But I remember when that first baby, unalive. While she was 8 months pregnant. Unalive while she was 8 months pregnant. Okay? So everybody looked at like, you know, things happen. We sorry. We understand with black women, health, pregnancies, and things like that happen. Second time she got pregnant, same thing. This time the baby came out. But it was unalive. During the whole 9 months, they went through all the procedures, went to all the doctor's appointments. The doctor said the baby got a good heart. The baby's breathing fine. Things is great. Everything was perfect. That when that baby came out, when that baby came out of her, they said 3 minutes later, that baby died. Now, some people say, well, Brian, things happen. There's things in life where when women have babies, it's very dangerous for women. Facts. I totally agree. But when I talked to her 2 years ago, when she let E5 alone, She the one brought this to my attention. She said, Brian, I think I sacrificed my kids. That's why I could never have kids. She said it was mighty strange that her baby was healthy, heartbeat, everything. But as soon as her baby came out and 2 minutes later, my baby died, I should have never done that. In so many words that she was saying. When she left E5 alone, left all this stuff alone, guess what, y'all? She got a healthy 9-month baby girl right now. Well, baby girl 10-month-old right now. A healthy 10-month-old baby girl. She ain't have no complications or anything. We're nothing like y'all. There's no benefit for that. Our souls are not the same like them people. So why would I claim Africa for? Just why? Why? Cause when we call ourselves African, we hand over our narrative to other groups of people. And those other groups of people would benefit from that. Just like the Africans and Caribbeans did. We handed over everything and let everybody be involved in what we had going on. And look where we at now. Some say we too late. Some say we not. I'm in the middle. I'm still fighting every day to make sure that we, as Black American people, don't have to look to Africa like it's everything. And when it's not. Our bloodline, our culture, our history was shaped right here in America. It wasn't shaped in Africa. It don't got nothing to do with Africa. I'm sorry. And I can't knock anybody. Listen. And I always want to make this clear. I'm not knocking anybody that say they descend from Africa or from the transatlantic slave trade. They come from Africa, whatever. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The transatlantic slave trade happened. Slavery did happen. I'm not one of those people. But right now, in this fight of delineation, what we're going through, for me, just me, y'all, I can't claim African. Because they using it too much against us as Black Americans. They just using it too much against us. It don't benefit us, but it does benefit them. See, like Tariq said, long as we claim African, they in good standings. But we stop claiming African, the Africans and the Caribbeans and all these other groups of people gonna have to stand alone. So that's why I believe we don't benefit them or at all. We just don't benefit them at all. And with that Yazoo story, I was trying to correlate it. I hope y'all understood what I was going with the Yazoo situation, where what we practice is totally different from what they practice. And that's what I meant by it. But anyway, y'all have a good one. Salute to y'all. Let me know, do y'all benefit for calling yourselves African? What benefits will y'all receive if you call yourself African? That's what I want to know. Somebody tell me in the comments. But anyway, peace out, and I love y'all.